If you consider yourself to be a nice player in open world PvP games like Rust, Arc Raiders, or DayZ, yet despite your kindness that you show to other players, they always seem to kill you. If that sounds like you, I would like to very quickly try to convince you why adopting a kill on sight mindset will actually help you have more fun in those types of games long term. First, I think we should define what kill on sight means. I don't think that KOS or kill on sight means that you are a bloodthirsty monster that is just going to end every player that you see. I think that having a KOS mindset means that you don't trust anybody by default. And if you see someone, what you are seeing is, hey, that's loot running around on two legs. I'm going to go take that loot. Or there's a player over there. They may have seen me. I better be on guard and ready to return fire if something happens. But however you want to look at it, you are approaching engagements with the mindset of, I am going to be aggressive the moment I feel like it is the right decision, and I'm going to get them before they get me, because I refuse to be a perpetual victim in every encounter with another player that I have. That's kind of how I would view KOS, is you're not crazy, but you don't trust anybody, and the way to keep yourself safe is, unfortunately, to kill other players. I'll talk to some of my friends sometimes who play these types of games on a regular basis, but they complain a lot about how mean the communities are in these games while also refusing to defend themselves. You know, like they just kind of have this oddly naive, childlike perspective on gaming, on a PvP game, and they assume that if they're nice, everyone else will also be nice. That's not how that works. I think that by kind of being an asshole and doing your fair share of killing, even if you don't think it's the right thing to do, if you start doing that, you A, become better as a player, but B, you start to gain more power as a player. You're not the one calling the cops when someone shows up to do you harm. You're your own sheriff, and you get to decide who's in trouble and who's not. You don't have to be the biggest fish on your server. You just have to understand the fish sizes go in both directions infinitely. So you don't have to be the biggest fish. You just can't be the littlest fish. And as long as you're able to eat someone who's not as good at the game as you are, you can stay alive, you can keep your loot, and you can also decide who gets to live. So you can still be a kind player, but you don't need to be a nice player, if that makes sense. You can show other players kindness maybe after you down them one time and you walk over to them and you give them a talking to on like, hey man, don't shoot at me, okay? I'm going to take your AK and your bullets, and you can go back to your little 2x2 in Rust, and I'll let you live, okay? But don't shoot at me again, all right? Or I'll come raid your base. That is a kind player. Nice players are like, hey, can we be friends? And then you get shot in the head. So to wrap all this up, try being a little bit of a dick and assume that other players are not going to be nice, and you might find that you live longer and you get to keep more loot as you're playing.